Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me. This is Monday morning. I like to call myself on Monday mornings with my glasses on, Professor Wilson, just because I'm giving you your real estate update. These are actually blue blocker glasses for people that stare at the computer all day, so definitely helps your eyes. So I want to start off today. Before I get to that, let me just share this moment. Thank you for your patience. All right, perfect. All right, so happy Monday morning. I want to give you a few updates here about the real estate market here in Northeast Ohio. I like to focus in a lot more in Cuyahoga County, but first I want to give you an update what we see that has going to have, I believe, a big impact for self-employed folks. So Fannie Mae makes it a lot harder for self-employed borrowers to obtain a mortgage, right? So they just announced that they're going to become a little bit more strict. So if this is the first time you're following me, please hit either the like or subscribe button so that you know when I'm going live. I like to go live all the time, share relevant information with you about real estate, and also type in the chat any topics that you would like to know more about. So Fannie Mae had just put out some information, and they're saying that they're changing the rules for self-employed individuals. So the date that for it to begin is June 11th. So what that means is they have become or enforced some stricter guidelines that are going to need to be followed by all lenders. So before, if you were self-employed, you pretty much just had to have 2 years of tax returns. They would review it. They would take the 2 years tax returns, kind of add those together, and then divide that in half to come up with that average. And that's how much they would determine how much of a loan that you can afford. Well, now with this whole pandemic and with businesses being closed and sales being down, they decided to put in some additional layers to all of that. That's going to make it a little bit harder. So one of the things that they're saying is that they want to make sure that the borrower's income is stable and income is projected to continue. So how are they going to do that? Well, what they are asking is they want your loan officer to review the profit and loss statements and bank statements. And although you may have had to submit those profit and loss statements and or bank statements, they want to see 2 months bank statements, the most recent months. So you can't like skip a month or anything. They want the 2 most recent months, but they're also going to want those profit and loss statements. So that monthly, so we're into June right now. So they're going to want to see May profit and loss statements if you were applying for a loan. And then from there, they're going to want those statements to be audited. So typically those audited statements don't happen until like year end. So as you're going through the year as a business owner, we typically look at our businesses as a whole at the end of the year, and we adjust any of that income and expenses the way we categorize it. Just obviously all legal, but the way that we submit that information and break that out, we usually don't see that audited financials until the end of the year. Well, now they're going to want you to have audited financial statements. So you're going to have to go to your CPA, your accountant, to have them prepare an audited statement for the month to submit that over to your loan officer. So this is going to slow down the process and potentially hurt you, because if they're saying they want to see the most recent audited statement, like for example, we just came off of May, and so May might and through a pandemic and shutdown and quarantine. So if you have to present those statements, then you may be in a position where you would get denied, because let's be real, business was slow for a lot of people, especially if you're retail, restaurants, and a number of businesses that are out there. So you have been greatly impacted. So those numbers may not look as good. I definitely understand and get why they're trying to do this. They're trying to stay ahead of this pandemic, and they want to make sure that whoever that they are issuing a loan to, they are financially capable of making those monthly payments, and they don't want to see 6 months down the line or a year later a default or foreclosure on the same property that they issued a loan to. It's just, as a business owner myself, small business owner, it makes it really hard if you want to go out and make moves. So if you are in a position to buy, thinking about buying, you're self-employed, then you want to make sure that if you possible, you want to try to get in a loan application before June 11th. I know today is June 1st, not a lot of time, but if you are in a position to do that, do not wait. Go ahead and submit that June 11th. For those of you, I've seen a lot of people who are thinking about leaving their job and starting their own business. And I just wanted to share this with you as well, that if you are thinking about starting your own business, have a plan in place. And before leaving that W-2 employment, make sure that if you're applying for things that need to pull credit and income requirements, that you make those moves before you leave your employment. Okay. So it's definitely something that we have to plan for. So now I want to share with you, I kind of put together the May numbers. We're going to review the last 2 weeks of May, of kind of like where we ended. So May final numbers are still coming in as deals begin to close or the system is updated. But I want to share with you kind of where we are right now. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Let's see what we have here. All right. All right, so this was last week's numbers. The number of home sales as of May 27th. So that was Wednesday. But so the numbers last week, number of home sales was 1,058. The average sale price was 190,000. The number of new listings was 1,564. And average days on market is 52. And now I'm going to show you where we are as of May 31st right now. So right now, home sales was 1,340 versus that 1,058. So we did increase there. We have an average sale price of 188,229. So the average sale price did go up. Number of new listings increased. It's now at 1,955 versus 1,564. So that jump actually happened within in less than a week. We've seen a lot of new listings come to the market. I'm guessing it has a lot to do with the market opening back up now, and it's giving people a sense of relief. They feel comfortable with putting their house on the market and maybe even ready for people to now enter their homes. And then we're seeing the average days on market as 54 versus 52. So I do want to compare these May 31st numbers of 2020 to 2019. So in 2019, the number of home sales for May, we ended at 1,976 versus this 1,340. The average sale price in 2019 was 184,000 versus 188,000. So if you have been with me over these couple weeks when I've been talking about the average sale price and where we were seeing the market going prior to this pandemic, we were seeing that the forecast that home prices were going up. owners were starting to have more equity built into their homes. The values of homes were going up, and that trend was going up until a point where we hit this pandemic, and then it started to just flatten out. So we did see, we do see some increase there. So we're at 188,000. So in May of 2019, we saw 2,684 new listings in May versus we're at, 1,955. And then the average days on the market in 2019 was 63 days versus 54. So as you can see, the average days on market has also gone down now in 2020. I do expect that the number of home sales to actually increase a little bit. So I know this is saying May 31st, but as I mentioned, a lot of the information that agents need to close out their final deals. Closings had happened maybe on Friday, and those deals need to be closed out in the system. So I do expect to see increase in those final numbers for May. So. All right, so that is where we stand as far as the numbers. Again, there is low inventory just across the board as a whole. So if you are thinking about selling your home, it definitely is a good time to sell your home because there's so many buyers out there. They're trying to get into and find a home and having trouble finding a good home on the marketplace. If you're a buyer, the interest rates are still very low right now, which makes it a prime time to purchase a home as well. Some of the things that we're still seeing is a lot of the virtual home buying process. As we start to open up the market, people are still a little hesitant to go out and see some properties. So we're doing a lot of pictures and videos. So be open to that. You want to focus on decluttering your homes if you have it on the market for sale, because they're really going to be looking in on the pictures and videos of your property and studying that a lot more. So typically every week after I kind of go over the numbers, I've been highlighting a city and just giving you some information about that area and that city and what it provides, where it's located. But today I'm going to change it slightly. I'm still talking about Cleveland in general, but I want to talk a little bit more about the events over the weekend in downtown Cleveland. I woke up Sunday morning. I was very anxious and just really wanting to do something. I didn't know what to do, what message to really put out there. It was very disheartening just looking at all of the videos and pictures and social media posts. It was starting to weigh very heavy, on me. While I may not agree with the looting of downtown and businesses and small businesses, I certainly understand where that pent up anger and energy is coming from. So I definitely do not want to minimize that, but we all have to seek some form of change inside of us. And I think it's time for everyone to be a little bit more vocal about this. As a small business owner, oftentimes, you feel that, oh, I don't want to say something because I may lose an audience or part of my business, because if I become too vocal, people may see me as trying to be like an instigator or just not understanding where I'm coming from. And I definitely think that it's time that we all have to be a little bit more vocal about how we feel about these things, so that people will start to realize our experiences are not as uncommon as one may believe. And I can share a number of instances that I have had when it comes to being racially profiled or mistreated. And so even in real estate, as a realtor, I have shown up to houses. I have taken a call over the phone. Maybe a lender had given me a lead and I've gone out to that property over the phone. They may have thought that I was of a different race. And then when I showed up at the property, they no longer wanted to do business with me because of my skin color. And that doesn't feel good. But these are the things, I don't talk about it. I just keep it moving. And this is what so many of us do. We just keep it moving. And I think not sharing that makes some people that are close to me feel that it's only a select few of people that have had these type of experiences, and it's not everyone. So I think that is just time that we become a little bit more vocal. If you have not had these type of experiences, I am so happy for you, but it's time for you to be more boisterous as well, to speak out, to say that this is not right, some of the treatment that we have seen in the marketplace. And no one is saying that you have to be you have to be on the front lines of anything, but I think the more that we can kind of communicate this, that we can become more united and get through this a lot easier. So again, I just think that the best thing is not for us to be silent, and we talk a little bit more about George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and so many others that are out there. We want to bring awareness about these incidents. I've seen some people say, oh, I didn't watch the video. I think you need to watch the video. I think you need to feel what's going on here in the marketplace. So I don't want to keep going on and rant about that topic. I did want to not ignore what we've seen over the weekend. I think it's important. But as always, I am always here for you to answer any of your questions in regards to real estate. If you're thinking about buying, selling, or you want to get started investing in real estate, or if you're thinking about making a career change and you want to obtain your real estate license. We do offer those courses. We're still offering those courses. We have almost all 50 states. I never really share that. We focus in on Ohio because that's where we're located, in Ohio, but we have almost all 50 state courses that we can help you get through. And some of the other states, the pre-licensing hour requirement is a lot less than it is here in Ohio. Ohio is probably one of the most strict states. In some states, it's only 40 or 30 hours required before you could take your exam and to get your license. So please subscribe to my channel, like it, share it. I like to give relevant information as it pertains to real estate. Thank you for joining me. I will be back Monday morning at 7 a.m. if you're looking for your real estate update and forecast. You know, at this time in the morning, people are normally looking for the weather, on the news channel, but I'm giving you the temperature here on the real estate market. So thank you for joining me, and everyone, please have a beautiful, safe Monday here. All right. Have a good day.